Well, it's nearly the end of the year, it's nearly Christmas, and that means that first of all, yes, the weather outside is frightful because, my goodness, it's like 38 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in American, but it's hot. Like, I mean, you know it's bad when you live in a country where you can't actually go outside in the summer without burning. That's pretty bad. Anyway, it also means that I'm going to do a 2015 Games of the Year little video, and I've got about 7 games that I liked this year. I mean, that kind of sounds bad. 7 games that I really liked, and also that's out of the X amount that I played that actually came out, because I don't typically buy new games that often, because they're more expensive than older games, which might still be better. Anyway, so let's do that. Let's do that then. I grew up with Smash, starting with a Nintendo 64 version, moving on to Melee, then to Brawl. I dabbled in PM, and now here we are with Smash 4. This iteration of Smash has introduced amiibos, which are interesting. I mean, it's not a life-changing concept by any measure, but the idea that you could have an opponent who would adapt to your playstyle over a couple of matches is pretty cool. The game is pretty true to the Smash franchise, although I would have preferred another story mode like Subspace Emissary, however the heck you say it. But it pretty much covers all bases, some bases more than others. For instance, sword characters. Why are they? They've also just announced another sword character. When I wrote this script, Cloud was the new one, but then they've introduced another one after that. That doesn't make any sense. We don't need that many sword characters. What's wrong with the good old fisticuffs or a gun or something? I don't know. Long story short, it's exactly what we've come to expect from Smash. No more, no less, but just so many sword characters. I don't understand. Rust. At the start of the year, Little G and I picked this up. We didn't actually record any of it, but we do have some funny stories. For one instance, we found one guy who was a friend who could make green shirts. That's all he could make, because you got to learn recipes by either finding the recipe or deconstructing and then learning. So basically, we didn't have any technology beyond green shirts. So that's what we did. We just made lots of green shirts. We wore them. There were 12 of us. You know, we were just little militia of bow and arrow wielding green shirted men. And then somehow we managed to piss off a group of better equipped players who were not particularly forgiving. The fight ended up raging for about half an hour of trying to hit them with an arrow while avoiding getting shot in the head. Unfortunately, we weren't even developed enough to bring a knife to a gunfight, let alone anything more than a pointy stick. After the building was stormed, we were locked in our sleep/spawn room, doomed to either wear the door down hit by hit or spawn at a random location. I liked it. Just play with a group and who aren't dicks and you'll be fine. Lo and behold, it is a survival game on Steam in early access, which, as we all know, is a rarity. That was sarcasm. Don't take that seriously. It's currently in development. It's looking good considering they had to rebuild the whole game. Yeah, just have a group of friends who will have Rust. You'll have a great time. This game taught me something. Things are always too good to be true. I was cruising along, minding my own business, having a happy scavenge, and then BAM! Gold. Sweet, sweet gold. Several canisters just glistening in whatever light source was providing the light. I saw riches, a way better warp drive. As I approached said canisters, a little blip appeared on my radar, and I thought, no worries. One pirate, 2 pirates, three pirates. What? Okay, 3 blips on the radar, 3 pirates, no worries. And then I realized that there were many pirates. Soon I realized it was a trap. I began to charge the old warp drive and began my evasive maneuvers to buy time. However, old Betsy the warp drive was by no means a fast charger. And then the fatal words appeared on my screen. Missile locked. Those were the last words I saw before my shields were busted and my ship exploded. So yeah, it's a great game. You should probably make sure you can always comfortably afford to repurchase your ship, because you will die. just a fact. You're going to die. GTA 5 was a very much anticipated game for the PC audience, and rightly so, boasting a huge world, beautiful graphics, and the ability to experience San Andreas in first person. I was pretty darn hyped. The heists were amazing when you had a team of reliable people. That's a disclaimer. Don't rely on public people, rely on friends, because at least then they'll listen if you talk to them. The general multiplayer carnage was as fun as you'd expect. Minor point here, did not play the story mode. I don't care for the story mode of GTA 5. The multiplayer mode is fantastic though, and I've sunk at least 200 hours into the game anyway, so... Well, I say at least, about. It's a good game. Get it in a sale. 40% off Steam, as I record this. Sweet mother of Mary, if GTA had a hype train, then Fallout 4 had a Schwer Gustav, which is a big German train with a gun. The gaming world exploded as girlfriends braced to lose their boyfriends in another Bethesda adventure. However, like all Bethesda games, Fallout's launch had not been without a hitch. You can expect the typical physics glitches, and unfortunately, there were many recorded performance errors on consoles, beyond the fact that it ran at 30 frames per second. Ha! Don't get me wrong, it's a great game, but it isn't perfect. 11 out of 10, best game 7 ever, IGN. Fallout 4 featured an expansive world and an amazing mountain adventure. I'm gonna be honest, I'm just considering slogging out the main questline on my series just so I can stop recording it and binge it for real. The NES was great, however there haven't been too many games that have truly simulated the NES experience on a PC, excluding emulations. Sure, there's been a lot of pixel art stuff, but I haven't experienced anything that feels as legit to the era as Shovel Knight. And good grief, that soundtrack. Beautiful. I recently began playing it again on my Surface Pro with a NES-like controller, and I really loved it. It's hard but fair, and it's that quality that I think a lot of recent games don't quite have the hang of. Remember supersonic acrobatic rocket-powered battle cars? No? Well, of course you don't. But anyway, Rocket League is the new and improved incarnation of the predecessor, with a new coat of paint and servers made out of repurposed toasters. Yeah. If you're lucky enough to get a good connection and a match that isn't full of raging bogans, then you're in for a treat. With Rocket League, you can experience all the triumphs and failures that you might have felt if you were actually skilled enough and coordinated enough to make it into a high school sports team, instead of being put in the hockey B team purely because they had to make up numbers and no one wants them to be the goalie because apparently the words health and safety mean nothing to the person who was meant to make sure the protective gear is useful. Sorry, I get a bit carried away sometimes. But yeah, car soccer. You'll love it. The game looks great, feels great, and plays great. And really, that's all you want in a game. Also, it won Best Sports Game of 2015, beating out every other sports game released in the year. I mean, that's what the prize sort of implies. But a car ball game beat out actual sports games. One, that's a testament to how bad actual sports games actually are, and two, it's a testament to how good Rocket League is. I guess I got all that YouTube to cash. Oh, okay. Missed anyway. So yeah, those are my best games of 2015. I realize that, I have not played a lot of games. I mean, it's usually I play a lot of games a little bit all the way, but I've invested a lot of hours into some games this year. Of course, that was only games that I played that came out this year. I might do another video of just my general top games of the year. We'll see. So as always, like, favorite, and subscribe, and I'll see you. I think my next video coming out after this one is another Resident Evil game video thing. Yeah. Leave comments below. If I was wrong, let me know, but don't do it in a mean way, because that would suck.